They were all telepathic. "I'm hurt, boss." Laughter spilled into Mac's mind. "Why would you ever think someone might die?" Mac sent Javier Enderman a stern warning look. Javier could see easily in the darkness, even when he chose not to. He looked like a kid with his dark black eyes and innocent boyish face, one of his greatest assets. Everyone always underestimated him, if they ever actually saw him. Urban warfare was a unique art. Every citizen in a hot zone could potentially be innocent or an enemy. It took special men and women with nerves of steel to be able to function in such a high-stress situation. His GhostWalker unit was comprised of such individuals, all highly trained and with very special, unique psychic gifts. Mac and the others dropped to their bellies, disappearing into the sand just feet from the first building at the edge of the city. Javier jogged with absolute confidence right up to the structure and into the alley. As he got closer to the buildings, his solid form simply disappeared, blending completely with his surroundings. "I think our informant is onto something. We've got a major force here, Mac," Javier reported. "Guns on the roof, stairways, tucked in the alleys. I see several at the windows in the building across the street. Big op here." "Can you find a way to blend in without having to kill anyone? We aren't supposed to be here. Get in, get out with the package, and no one the wiser." Javier sighed heavily. "You know, boss, you're maligning my character. Of course I can find a way to blend. No faith." Mac's gut tightened. Javier was an accomplished assassin despite his youthful, innocent appearance. He was highly skilled with explosives and a maniac when it came to computers. Highly intelligent, he followed one person, and that was Mac. Javier could usually find a group of teens and simply join them, but the kids in this part of the city were mostly likely paid to report strangers. He refrained from telling Javier to be careful, knowing the man wouldn't appreciate his caution. But they'd been raised on the streets together. Javier was more than a teammate. He was family. And Mac looked after family. These men had followed him into hell, and Mac felt responsible for them. They had all thought psychic enhancement was an exciting program, one that would allow them the best ability to save lives and serve their country, and maybe it would have been, had it not been run by a madman who had not only enhanced their psychic abilities, but had also changed their DNA, adding the animal enhancements he thought would make them all super soldiers. There was Gideon Carpenter, a man who would be their savior in any crisis. He had eyes like a hawk, could shoot the wings off a fly with hands as steady as a rock. He would protect them from great distances, and so far, Mac had never known him to miss. Before he could get into position, they would need to have information, and the rooftop of his choice cleared. Ethan Myers lay on his belly, eyes locked on the structure ahead, his body streamlined for climbing. The man could go up a building like a spider, clear the rooftop and be gone before anyone ever knew he'd been there. He waited, coiled to react, as steady as they came. Mac glanced to the man on his right. Kane Cannon was the fifth man making up their team of rescuers. Kane had always been with him, from the streets of Chicago, college, every type of special forces training available to them, as well as the GhostWalker experiments and additional field training. Kane always guarded his back, and he knew exactly what Mac was thinking. He shifted his weight subtly, telling Mac he was ready. He was invaluable, a man who literally could see through walls and into buildings. He could lay out the position of the enemy in seconds. "Our informant should be in the third apartment, bottom floor, corner building," Mac sent telepathically to his team. "You're up, Kane. Make certain she's alone. Sergeant Major is sure the information couldn't have been obtained by anyone other than a GhostWalker. This is an unknown and could be a trap." Kane shoved upward with his hands, and his feet went smoothly under him in a practiced move. He ran low, muscles warm and fluid, sending him across the open feet of desert to the entrance.